Inien's eyes slowly drift open. Oh, thanks, Gregor, by the way. Just had to, she climbs off your back, very slowly. Rest up, magical reloading. You understand, right?
Yeah, pretty sure that's not a thing.
I still want to learn it.
I think you just wanted to piggyback so that you could nap.
Markus, you have no room.
Pretty positive.
Markus, you have no room to talk. You're a sorcerer. You have no magical capacity. See, the way it works for normal mages is we have to rest for a period of time to reload our magic, so to speak. Instead of focusing on, say, building a wider repertoire of spells, I focused on my reload time. So long as I can catch a short nap, yeah, I am good with whatever magic I can get.
Yep, and I don't mind giving piggybacks. They call me the group piggy, behind my back.
We do call you that while we're on your back.
Why do you call him that?
Why not?
Because I'm so good at giving piggybacks.
Yeah, he gives the piggybacks. He's great at it.
Okay,
He's very gentle.
Yeah.
I
See? You
noticed.
liked it.
Yeah, exceedingly gentle. I just nicknames, they're important, okay? Someday you might be known by them. Are you sure you want to be known by that?
It's an inside nickname.
Yeah.
An inside. Okay.
Only to the piggyback circle.
Sorry, the only reason that I was getting on your case is because, you know, if you hadn't asked for the piggyback ride, I would have.
Okay. Well, I understand the concept of competition, Markus. Don't get me wrong. I'm sorry if I stole your place. It did seem very well worn to piggybacking. How often do you give them, Gregor?
Oh, whenever people ask, and sometimes when they don't.
Okay, how often is that?
Let's see. This is like the third time this week.
This week. Okay, this week. That isn't too bad. You wander up to a gorgeous cliff.
Wow.
Off in the distance, you see a Ginkala. It's close, but not too close. There's a good distance between you and it. Ships rest moored at the docks, and, well, the rise seems a lot less imposing from here.
How much smoke is rising from this?
Surprisingly, there's less smoke than you'd expect. Perhaps it was Markus's fantastic dunk that sent a cascade of water down on the city. Or perhaps it is Morin mobilizing the militia to put out fires rather than dying en masse to fiery golems. Regardless, the city is in better shape than you expected.
Markus admires the view off of the cliff and kicks a rock off into the water. Wow. Just beautiful. Also, we're really high up.
Yeah. Gravity is pretty impressive sometimes.
Yeah, I do have to admit, there's actually a lot less fire than I expected, you know? Maybe it might be the Honorian air talking, but, you know, when we were close to that fire, it seemed simply gigantic, but off in the distance, it's just a tiny little candle.
Yeah.
A metaphor for our existence.
Yeah.
Oh, getting deep, Gregor.
I think I'm following that. You know, I rarely buy into this stuff, but looking at this view a little bit, this place is absolutely gorgeous.
We're all just candles. And then one day we go out and we melt a little bit.
Okay.
And sometimes we get hot heads. But in the end, we're just a pile, we're just a lump.
A lump, yes.
Of wax.
Yeah.
And?
Please finish.
And we are leaving now.
Okay.
Okay, wow. Was he asking for help, or did he legitimately want to finish that on his own? Hey, wisps.
Ooh, adorable. I bottled one.
Okay.
You never know when you're gonna need a wisp.
You've not needed them this far. How many do you have? Is it all the same bottle?
Like on me right this second?
Yes.
Just the one.
It occurs to me that for such a history rich in spirit folk, Honorin doesn't have many of these little guys.
It's true. No, there are far more around the Nine Shrines bar.
Yeah, and far more in your collection. We need to talk about that.
Look, okay, they are well kept. There's a variety of things they can busy themselves with, okay? Like, I have various means of recreation, comfy chairs. It doesn't matter if the room is only 3 square feet, because I have packed those square feet with so much.
Oh, Inien claps her hands. Is that why you carry around so much of what appears to be dolls' clothing and dolls' equipment and items? And I just...
What? Wait a second.
Oh, that's my clothes.
Back when we were in Inien puts up her fingers, Wizard High School, you got smacked around quite a bit, and I saw a lot of miniature equipment flight. Do you get those to your tiny little red people?
Oh yeah. Oh definitely. No, like I mean, you know,
Wow,
I have
strange.
extra.
And what about those wallets you gave everybody as gifts? Were those mass-produced by wisps?
No. No. The imps made.
Wow, this
those.
is getting dark. Wow. Yeah. Wait. That's okay, but the other thing. Okay, I'm not gonna jump in on this quite yet. How about let's keep walking?
Inien,
we have
if you had an army of, well, armies maybe being a little bit generous, but if you had a selection of, small, red, angry men, would you not give them small knives to use and various other equipment?
Oh no, I wouldn't hesitate for a second, but it won't stop me of being skeptical when you do it.
Huh. I suppose that's fair. I'll give you that. So, this is the shrine?
I assume this is the island shrine, yes, and that it is the only building I found, and unless they built some sort of dirt shrine around here, which is not something I'd put past spirit worshippers, we're looking at it.
I'm not seeing any signs of the Zeth anywhere.
Yeah, it looks a little dingy.
It does.
Yes.
The wood's in terrible condition. It's ramshackle.
Terribly kept. Really, they didn't even finish this. How hard is it?
Yeah. They
just put a coat of lacquer on it.
Right?
Come on,
no
people.
sealant. Of course it's gonna fall apart.
Jeez.
Guys, please. It looks like a normal wooden building. Like,
it's in terrible shape, Inien, okay? Look,
Inien.
all I'm saying is if you're gonna build your house out of wood, you better damn well know how to make sure that wood is well cared for.
okay, no, by any standard, any sane standard, I mean, my standard, looking at this is a normal building. I've seen a lot of buildings. In fact, I've lived in many buildings.
You clearly know nothing about houses.
We can teach you later, Inien. It's okay.
I don't.
We'll class you on wood, don't worry.
How do you people know so much about it?
How do you not?
How are you you're a mage, right?
Yeah?
I've seen you talk more professionally about lacquer or whatever in the last 5 seconds than I've heard you ever address magic.
It's important to be a well-rounded person, Inien.
Well-rounded? This is highly specialized.
It's not. This is the sort of general knowledge that anybody picks up on their travels throughout the world.
It's a spike of knowledge amidst a circle to make an orb of
look, let's just Markus
brain.
makes to open the door and it falls off its hinges.
Okay, yes, I'm seeing what you're saying about the building being in terrible shape
just not well kept.
It's not well kept, I'll admit that, sure, fine.
Creaky.
Covered in spider webs.
They used the wrong kind of nails, too.
Look, the wood's rotting because it's soaked, because it's not sealed.
The wrong
I mean, they built it right by the water.
There's a right kind of... Okay, fine, sure. These candles...
Markus snaps his fingers and they all light. That's much better. Man, I hope that didn't start some sort of magic ritual.
Looking around the shrine, it's true that there is, dust around the edges. It's relatively ramshackle, not particularly well cared for. But you notice that the area around the shrine in particular is devoid of dust. It appears that people have been using this, at least to some degree, recently. They haven't bothered to fix the place up. It's a complete shit show, as your expert woodman's eye can tell you. But it's not as if this place has been neglected by the presence of humans.
You know, they kept this table in order.
Yeah, this is a nice table. Can you tell me what this is, Gregor?
Maple.
I was going to say maple. Yeah, it's definitely a nice maple.
Inien puts her head in her hand.
Yeah, see, you can tell by the smooth finish. Yeah, I grab Inien's hand and rub it across the table.
Here, it's just obvious.
Oh, wow, that is smooth. Yeah, you're
Wonderfully crafted, though. I might take this table back with us when we leave.
It looks like someone was using it.
Markus, please, I don't think you could carry this.
Well, clearly I'd get Kier to make something to carry it for me.
Oh, the one with the...
Make.
Yeah, the one with the grasping claws and the hydraulic pumps.
Is he some kind of a mage?
Here?
Yes.
No, he's like the opposite of a mage.
The opposite of it. So like Gregor.
No. Like harder opposite than Gregor.
How can you be harder, Gregor? You're like hard opposite magic, right?
I see myself more as the inverse of magic.
Oh, okay. The inverse rather than the opposite, of course.
Yeah.
And he turns away.
Markus sniffs the air. Does it smell like magic in here?
I don't know.
Yeah, it's faint, but it's definitely there.
Yeah. Detecting some magic. You said that there was no
You can
dust.
smell magic. Are you fucking kidding me?
Can you not?
Is this...
Inien, you are like blowing everything that I thought I knew about magic users out of the water.
I can't tell which of you is normal.
Honestly, Gregor, me either at this point.
I mean, Now that I stop and think about it, it might be that I've assumed that every other magic user is the same as myself, which is perhaps in error.
Yes, that would be factually incorrect. Were we still living in a mage state, you would be part of the hierarchy.
Ooh, wait. Of course, would I be high up on the hierarchy, though?
Yeah, you're a sorcerer. You'd be the very top of the top. Don't let that go to your head. Those people were pricks.
Too late.
Where would I be?
Well, you'd probably be down here with me in one of the lower castes.
It'd be a, cool. What is it? I think it's called a surfer?
Inien puts a hand on Gregor's shoulder. Just let him live his dream.
It sounds like my dream, too.
Oh, I don't understand. Okay, let's examine the place. Look around for something that looks like a seal.
Does this look like a seal?
Markus cartwheels backwards, landing next to Gregor, and says, "Ooh, what's up with these statues?"
I don't know. They don't look like a seal to me, but I have no idea what a seal looks like, so...
I don't think it's a seal, but they are rather interesting. What do they look like?
You examine the 4 statues, set out in front of you. One towers well above the rest, a gigantic figure that, dwarfs the, small statuary.
I examine the leftmost statue.
From left to right, you examine the statues. You pick up the one immediately before you. You lift it relatively easily. You see a horned creature. One is broken off somewhat near the forehead. Honestly, the glorious horns remind you a little bit of your own, except they're wider set and more ox-like. Examining the statue, you see an engraving near its base. You see the title, Chiron of Lilies.
And the middle statue?
You lift the middle statue.
I lift the middle statue.
Shove into Gregor.
Oh.
Gregor and Markus simultaneously lift the middle statue. Oh, huh. I guess these are statues for the old clan leader deities. Interesting. What's that one you've got there? She also lays hands on it.
You've got good eyes, Inien.
No, I don't. She kind of slumps for a second. Wizard eye damage built up over the years.
Oh.
She sighs and stares at the statue. You hold a cool, smooth statue made of a blue, sparkling stone. At the center of it is a humanoid figure, surprisingly more human than the last. Looking at the base, you see a symbol, Jin of Oaths.
Interesting.
Do you think that could be related to Jin of Spirit Folk?
Why?
Guy.
Yes, I do.
Jin of Man.
Yes, potentially.
Yeah, I thought so too.
Excellent deduction. He kind of has the smallest and least impressive statue here.
Huh. That's true.
Yeah, I wonder why that is.
About the third statue here?
You lift up the third statue. It's quite heavy in your hand. It appears to be made out of polished gold. The creature is a dense, hulking brute. At its side is a brutal weapon. You read, Mirror of Gold.
Markus slips it into his pocket. Interesting. Ooh, this one is much bigger than the last. What do we have here?
You stare at a statue carved of obsidian. Its size dwarfs the rest. On its back is a gigantic, flowing cape. Grasped in its hand is a trident of glorious girth. Your eyes scan it top to bottom. Emblazoned at its base is Tenui of Rust.
Rust. How very familiar.
Okay, so we have Chiron of Lilies. We have Tenui of Rust. Markus points at the big statue in the back. And we have Mirror of Gold. Markus points at the empty space where the gold statue once stood, thinks for a moment, and then places a small bag of sand where it had been.
Do you just carry around bags of... Is most of your weight sand weight?
Most of... Maybe not. A significant portion. Yeah.
He always weighs something different when I give him piggyback rides, so...
Anyway, that leads us to Jin of Oaths, who, I mean, I only have one possible conclusion here. He must be the secret leader of the Secret Fourth Clan.
Secret Fourth Clan, yes.
The Secret Fourth Clan, which obviously exists.
Okay. Well... That's... Okay, yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
So what would you guys say that this looks like a seal, then?
That's a rug, Gregor.
That is a nice rug.
It's a very nice rug.
It's made of... Yeah. Is this bamboo?
I think it is. I'm gonna take this.
Oh, are you not...
Guys, help me roll this up.
What, are you not a master of reeds?
Bamboo is technically a grass. That's
It is.
Okay, so your expertise ends at grasses. Okay, that's nice.
What? Grass and wood are two entirely different things, Inien. There's nothing fascinating about a bunch of fucking grass.
Aren't really?
There's grass everywhere. It grows on trees, Inien.
There are so many things wrong with that, I don't even know where to start.
It sounded pretty on point to me. Now help me roll this up.
You roll up the rug.
I strap it to my back.
You suddenly weigh about 50 pounds more.
Whew, that is a far heavier rug than I thought it would be.
You notice a magical symbol carved into the floor. It radiates a, positively unpleasant energy.
Oh.
It makes your eyebrows wriggle uncomfortably.
I thought so.
Yeah, they were already doing that, but now it feels bad.
So, do you think we hit pay dirt?
This is still wood, Inien.
Yeah.
Oh my god, you people are the worst. That was also a rhetorical question because obviously, yes, this is a magic seal, and I could tell that because I'm an expert in this field. Unlike you, who I think you're just making it up.
Oh yeah, you did rune carvy stuff.
I make very little up, thank you.
I have carved some runes in my time.
Can you read runes, such as this?
There are no runes here. This is just sort of like a...
All right, well, I don't know magic. I'm sorry.
Gregor, imagine this. I'll try to describe it using an example. Say you have a cup and you leave it on a table without a coaster. It leaves a mark, correct?
It depends what's in the cup.
Exactly, but
it also depends on what sort of wood the table's made
but
of.
Can you tell? And he gets angrier. Can you tell what drink it was purely based by the mark it left behind?
Yes.
Really, I'd like to.
Well, if it leaves a mark, that's it leaving the drink itself on the table.
No, that isn't necessarily true, Gregor.
What is it? The cup imprinting the table?
No, okay.
It's the moisture, which is the drink itself. It goes down and leaves a little mark on the table. And then you just ask Kakir to scrape that off and analyze it.
Taste it.
Okay, so...
Markus runs a finger along the edge of the seal and gives it a lick.
Your finger is stuck to it. Okay, no, Gregor, do you seriously think when you have a nice chilled glass of milk, preferably by magic, that is milk forming around the outside of the cup?
You spill it.
That is like...
No, that's...
Yes?
Milk sweat?
It's like dew in the morning, if you imagine that. Yes,
it's like milk
exactly.
Sweat.
Milk sweat.
But then why, when you leave a cup of Kir on the counter, is that ring all bubbly?
What?
It's a good question, Inien.
Regardless, we found the seal. Maybe we should sit and stand guard here or something.
That's what I've been doing.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been facing away from you this whole time. I don't know why you're...
I'm going to stay hunched over and stand guard if it's all the same to you.
Okay, Markus, yeah, you look really cool.
I'm feeling pretty cool right now.
Are you feeling, like, a little tired?
Maybe just a little bit. Why do you ask?
Your back's at a weird angle. Like, you look...
Yeah. You know, this is just what's comfortable for me right now.
Really? That's what's comfortable?
It's a bit of a stretch.
You're shaking.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I'm feeling a little tired.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you should teach me how to power nap.
My finger's stuck.
Your what?
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was wondering why you were doing that. Your finger's stuck to the seal. You just crammed your hand in the seal?
Well, all of your talk about how, if you put a drink on the table and it leaves a stain, and if you taste it, you might be able to figure out what it is. I figured,
Do you think milk sweat exists too? Do you both honestly believe for a second that milk sweat...
I'm not here to argue in favor or against milk sweat as a concept.
We've got some funny circle stains on our bar.
I was just thinking that
it's not all water.
Give this a little bit of a taste, I might be able to figure out where it came from, maybe.
Then why don't you taste it?
Yeah. Why are you using your finger?
Well, because I didn't want to put my tongue on the floor.
Oh, okay. This wood is pretty, splintery. It looks like dirty. Rotting, even.
Markus grabs a rag out of his ass sack and tries to wipe some of the dirt away from part of the seal.
Imagine if you got a maggot. Ugh.
Yep. Yeah, that's I wipe some of the dirt away and lick the seal. Praying that I don't get splinters.
First and foremost, your tongue sticks to the floor.
Okay.
You're able to quickly discern through your arcano-sensing glands in your mouth, which you may or may not possess, the origin of this magic and just how deeply rooted it is in this, this locale. What was that, Marcus? You feel a lattice work of spellcraft moving beneath the world itself. A cage forged out of dirt and rocks. Ugh. 1,000 spirit folk roil beneath the surface, seeking an exit point. They press against this exact point that your face is currently stuck to, trying to find an escape. Years of torment, a living hell trapped in the darkness. They're just trying to find the light once again. You get the feeling that this malice cannot be tamed by rationality. This cruelty, this venom will pour out upon the world, careless of who's caught between it and the surface, killing, slaughtering whatever it finds on the surface.
All right, you're gonna have to speak more clearly, Marcus.
Yes, Marcus.
Marcus begins flailing around wildly, attempting with every fiber of his being to remove himself from the seal.
Inien extends her hands, chants a single word, and a layer of grease flies from her, coating the floor. Marcus slides away.
You could have done that at any point?
Yeah, of course.
Inien, you've got style, I'll give you that.
So?
And you found out some good things, clearly, by those, determined mage screams I heard.
It looks like it'd be spicy. Was it?
It takes a moment for the shell-shocked look in Marcus's eyes to fade away.
Okay, so that's really bad.
Wait, was it good or bad? Because I'm really curious.
It was bad.
Okay.
Really? Gregor.
Well, it could have been like really good. Screams of ecstasy.
Here's the skinny. Hundreds, thousands, millions? I don't know.
Okay.
Tons of spirit folk all crammed together in the same place, trying to get out, sealed away. They're very, very angry. I got lots of anger and sadness and lots of anger. And holy crap, that's terrifying.
That does explain why it looks like a seal.
And slumps against the wall.
Well, that explains the Great Inorian mystery. We now know where all the spirit folk went after the Great Iconoclasm, so that's nice. They're right there. They're right there. Okay, that's good. It's good.
That is one of the most terrifying things that I have ever tasted.
Wow.
I kind of want to lick now, you know?
No.
Yeah, I'm curious.
Just don't.
Like, I'm a little curious, right? Right,
like,
Gregor?
Just don't.
I'm not going to try cure, but like, it'll give me scale. It'll give me perspective.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I just frankly want to taste something so bad that it'll maybe make everything taste good for the rest of my entire life.
Yeah.
Like, that
Do you have more grease loaded up?
Interesting. Yeah, of course.
I'm maybe gonna go outside and take up smoking.
Inien and Gregor both lick the floor.